Hello, it's Mark. It's Wednesday and it's 7 p.m. another live. Hey, how good is that? So I give everybody a few chances to catch up. What a day I've had. I've been very busy. I don't know about you guys, but I've been behind the scenes doing lots of things, lots of creating. So keep watching and you'll see why I've been so busy. So how are we today? Let me just take a glass of got some water with me. No coffee, no coffee. I'm already hyper enough as it is, so I don't know why. So how is everybody tonight? Look at this. As normal, Ivy and Ellie are off the mark there. First in, well done. Say hello. Let me know what you're doing tonight. Have you had your dinner yet? I kind of had to mad rush eat my dinner tonight. I must admit, it was a bit of a rush. I'm falling over. I don't know what I'm falling. Tripping over my own feet. Out of the way. If only you could see. If only you could see behind the scenes how messy my craft room actually is. I need a few days of really doing some work to it. I need some new blinds. I need a few bits and pieces here. But when it is finished, I think I'll give you guys a grand tour. What do you reckon? Would you like a tour of my immense... I say immense, it's not immense really. It's a tiny room. It may look big on camera, but it's not that big at all. So, well, who else we got here? What's Ivy saying? I'm trying to read all the comments as we're going there. Oh, Ellie said she had pasta. And Ivy's eating... What are you eating, Ivy? Eating slowly because when I'm done I have things to do. Okay. Why are you eating slowly? Helen always tells me that I eat my food way too fast. But you never know when your last meal's going to be. So, you know, just got to eat it, shovel it in and get on with the day. It's so nice to see loads of people here tonight. We have Christine. We have... Is that Gabriella? Sorry, I have a monitor. I have a monitor a bit further away, and my vision isn't good for distance. I can't see that small. I used to have a monitor closer up, so I will fix that so I can read everybody's comments. I can read some of them on my little tablet here, but not everybody's for some reason. I've only just got... Yeah, well, I know. Do you know what? It's been nearly 6... Do you know what? It's been nearly 6 months, Ivy. We've moved... We've been in this new house nearly 6 months. I know. What? Where's the time gone? It's absolutely crazy. And we've got, we've got Halloween around the corner. We've got Christmas on the way. It's I'm actually not sure that we're going to get many trick-or-treaters where I'm currently living because it's quite a rural area. So I don't know unless there's going to be a few kind of people who live close by would know where we are. So, it's great. Well, great and bad. I used to like trick-or-treaters come in, with all their cool costumes to see what they're wearing. And quite often I give them a scare myself. So there we go. Ali's saying she had her tea. See, is that a northern thing saying tea or your dinner? Had my tea at 5:30. Rice steak. Is that chips? Or, do you mean chips? Rice, steak, chips, tomato and cucumber. You put tips there. Steak tips. I presume you had chips. Oh, steak chips. That's very healthy-ish with the salad part of it. Ivy's saying she moved 4 years ago and you're still sorting yourself out. Well, yeah, I know. It's, I really must. I've got a few things that I've got on my head that I want to get done on this. There's a blank wall here. I can't show you yet because I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to show anybody my room. We kind of shut the door, if anybody comes because it's so embarrassing. And I've still got because this is a studio, we've got cables and that running everywhere and they're all hanging everywhere. So it's something that just needs to be sorted and finished and put away, ready for ready for Christmas, I think. Or everything all tidied up. That's what I want. That's my goal, is to have it all finished by Christmas. And then I'll be able to do like a show you around, see what's going on. Show you my studio. Ivy's saying, she says, you have me and you're not a fan of cucumber. See, I like cucumber. I love cucumber. Cucumber sandwiches. See, that's a cool thing. But with the cucumber, I'm not keen. I eat the skin on them, but I prefer to just cut the skin off the cucumber and then eat it that way. Very refreshing sandwich, must admit. Ivy's saying she's having a salmon stir fry. I eat what I'm given. Is that right? Do you know what that's exactly how I grew up. You know, what's for dinner? That was it. Whatever's on your plate is what you're having. That's it, or go hungry. That's how we used to work. Yeah. Who's the chef in your house? Your husband or partner? I should have coffee, I think, or not. Shall we take away? Everyone knows my name now. I think let's just take that bit off there. There we go. Much better. It's so nice. So many of you here. Good. Right, tonight I'm not going to take forever. I've got things to do afterwards, so I'm going to make it short-ish, but then just show you a way of using something. I think last week I showed you how to use the PET tape, which is this bad boy here. Really cool stuff. I think I've shown you how to use that last week in one way. Tonight I'll show you another way, a kind of easy way to create those kind of instants, maybe that look like a stamped kind of background. So I'm going to be doing that. Might use one of the papers from the new pad and probably a stamp set as well. So nothing too technical, nothing too out there. If you have got the products, great. Top them up. If you're feeling that you've used some of them already, there's some great offers on the website. Do take a look. For those of you who haven't got them but do want them, there is a link. I put the link in, so anybody who wants anything, there is a link on there, so it'll take you to the products that I'm actually using. Saying that, I'm just saying that. I probably didn't. I put two products that I bet I've just realised now. I didn't put the one for the paper pad on, but you'll find it on the main homepage. New in, okay. Did I show that upside down? Like that way around, yeah. So if I didn't put the link for the paper pad, I also do that after this hour. I put the stamps on and the tape. I must have had one of those like brain things going on where I've forgotten everything again. Right, so Eddie's saying I saw someone use PET tape to remove things from a gel plate. Oh, okay, that's a different way of using it. I can see that working as well. Yes, because on the sticky side, so you stick it down and then you would peel it off. That's a good idea. I suppose that's different to using it directly on the tape itself. Depends on what the product is, because PET tape is normally like it's like a plastic, so it will repel water. But I mean, obviously, alcohol inks, and I think you could probably get away with using acrylic inks on there. Don't quote me on that. I haven't tried it. But acrylic stuff seems to stick to everything. So if anyone wants to try it, let me know. Handy Scandy's here saying happy Wednesday. It is happy Wednesday, yeah. So we've moved the hour. If those of you who may have joined, who have just caught up, every Wednesday now at 7 p.m. It's a more sociable time, I think. What do you think? So, and you can tell it's winterish. I've got my hoodie on. I know. I don't know why I've got my hoodie on now, because I'm feeling warm. I've got lights here and everything, so I'm feeling actually quite warm. But I'm not going to take I'm not going to go back down to t-shirt. I'm going to have to live with it as it is. Right. So shall we make a start? We've got loads of people here, so let's make a start, and I'll show you what I'm going to play with tonight. As I said, it's not going to be too complicated. It's not going to be rocket science. You're not going to learn something new, except you are going to learn of how it looks and the way that I'm using it, because you can apply that to lots of different ways. So let's have a look, shall we? Let's find my camera. There we go. Okay. So what we have, I'll put my glasses on. So we're going to be using the PET tape, which is this one here. For those of you who do, that's upside down again, Mark. So this is this gorgeous PET tape. Very, very nice. It's 2 inches wide and it's 5 meters long, or in 5 centimeters wide, and sorry, it's 5 centimeters wide and 5 meters long. Or if you're imperial, it will be 2 inches and then 16 feet. So there's a lot of it, and it just kind of, it pattern repeats. So, and it's nice, really, really nice tape. Again, you can do so much with this. I like this one really much. You know, I do like it. The design is fantastic. It's good for lots of different things. And it works well, especially with some of the new stamps, and it'll work well with all your older stamps as well. Really, really nice stuff. I've got anything I can show you here now. So, obviously, you can, if you want to, let's just move these out of the way. I'll talk about those in a second. So, obviously, you can use the tape just by sticking it onto your plain cardstock, and you've got like an instant stamp. I mean, it's quite, the tape is also kind of matte as well, so it's not shiny, so it looks really cool on your projects. Very, very nice indeed. So you can use it straight down like that, no problem at all. If you want to maybe kind of put alcohol inks on, then this is where you can really bling up what you're creating. I mean, whether you want to go for your maybe brights, or maybe you want to go that more kind of sepia vintage kind of look going on there. Again, you can see how different this one tape will look across different ways of using it. Very, very cool indeed. I love this. You can stip into it, you can cut it, and then you can do it, pull it, and it'll cut it, like pull it and be wavy. I like that idea as well. I don't know whether I've got a sample with that like that. Oh, I do have, yeah. So you can see here, this sample here, where it's just been, I've snipped into the edge, and then I've just peeled it and pulled it by hand like you would tear paper, and that's how you kind of get that torn look. Again, just stuck down onto some printed cardstock. Very nice. Very cool indeed. So that's the tape. I'm also going to be using, what else am I going to be using? I'm going to be using some of the paper from the new paper pad, the Tomorrow's Memories paper pad. Gorgeous. This is 8x8, 200 GSM, obviously acid and lignin free for those who do things like scrapbooking, but we've got some really, really cool designs in there. And I've been using this, so some of these are going to be missing, I'm sure they are. But, oh, look at that one, that's gorgeous, that, isn't it? I'm going to use that as well. So again, you can see that I've been using this pad. That'd be cool for Christmas as well. You can see that. I can see trees and all kinds of things. Very, very nice. So that's the new paper pad. Really, really nice. Obviously, it is a proper 8x8 pad, so it goes edge to edge, and obviously you've got the header there, but you just trim that bit off. Very, very cool indeed. Love that lovely paper pad. And then we're going to finish off by using our stamp set. This is the Counting Moments. This is the new stamp set, which is a DL size. Again, very, very nice. It's a very, very nice stamp set. I like that one. Again, you get more in your package that way as well. Obviously, we're quite known for our kind of A6 ones, but I wanted that little bit of extra room there. You can put a lot more in there. So that's what you can do with that. Very, very nice. Ali's saying the new paper pad is amazing. I used a purple sheet today and got gold heat embossed over it. Oh, that sounds really nice. Ellie's saying that she's done that with normal sticky tape. I haven't tried it with PET tape. Okay, that's with the jelly plate. Okay, that's cool. Handy Scandy saying, I appreciate the later time. I'm in work, but join in as I'm able. And lurk in the background. I love a lurker. Olga's here. Hi, late to the party. Well, we've only just started, Olga, so really not a problem at all. We've been mainly talking about what the hell we've been eating for dinner. Did I actually tell you what I had? Probably didn't. So what did I have? What did Mark have? That is a good question. So I know, it's not going to be, it's totally unhealthy, but you'll forgive me because by the time I kind of finished my work for the day, and then obviously I had to do things, then I had to cook, and I had to eat very quickly, so I had something quite unhealthy. Do you want me to tell you? I had pie and chips and gravy. Is that such a kind of, is that a northern thing? I don't know. It was pie, chips and gravy. I just, sometimes you fancy a bit of comfort food. That's what I had. So I had pie, chips and gravy. Maybe it's not a thing in different countries, but it's certainly a known thing in the UK. So, and it was what was it? I had steak. It was a steak pie and chips and gravy. I know. So that's what I had. Right. Okay. Let's make a start, shall we? Because I do not want to take all of your time tonight. So I kind of create on the go as quickly as I can, ish, and see where we get. So the first thing I want to do is I've already got, I've cut a piece of the card from the paper pad. I can't remember which colour this actually is, but it's a really cool colour. Now these were originally done by hand, the actual original designs, so you're bound to find a matching colour probably in your range of colours, whether it be in distress or that kind of, so you're gonna find a colour that will go with it, which is cool. It's nice to be able to coordinate obviously a pad with inks and things, so that's cool. So I've already cut a piece out there, and this is like a square piece, so I don't know whether it's like a just under 6 by 6. Let's move this out of the way. So now tape. What I like about the PET tape is that obviously, as I said, you can just put it onto plain cardstock, but today I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to colour it like these ones here, because I quite easily could have done. Let's have a look at this a bit closer. So again, I could have easily coloured these. Again, this is just putting alcohol inks. That's it, plain, as I said before. Very, very nice. It just kind of looks like a stamp, and it's a matte finish. It's very silky, very, very nice. Yeah, silky, like it's a very touchy feely. So it's not like squeaky shinies, but it's a kind of silk. It's very nice indeed. And then obviously, if you're going for that kind of sepia kind of look, but again, it's entirely up to you what you're going to do with it. That looks great onto plain cardstock, but you can put that onto coloured cardstock if you wish to. So I'm going to get the tape today, and I'm going to put the plain tape onto a piece of already pre-coloured cardstock. Again, it's so easy to do, and it's going to be so effective. So I've got some tape, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that to my card. So I'll find some tape now. Let's have a look. What have we got here? Okay, so again, I've got some offcuts that I've got here, so I'm going to stick these down. I'm going to stick them straight over the top. Now, as you can see, you can still, because it's transparent, you're going to still see that some of that colour coming through, and I think that's quite nice as well. Sometimes you don't need to actually colour the tape if you don't want to, and it just adds to the background. It's going to look like a stamped background, so that's the effect I want to achieve here. So let me just get my knife. And I'm just going to peel off the back here with this, and I think I've already made a start on this. Let's look. Yeah. So let me just peel this off. Again, very easy to do, peel off, and it's nice and sticky, so it's great. So just work on where you're going to put it, and again, I won't try not to get any gaps in it. I'm going to cover this piece of cardstock. I'm going to cover it completely. I want to get to the edge there if I can. Just take your time and then commit and stick it down. We'll trim both edges afterwards. Let's get another piece now. So again, Now, obviously the pattern matches continuously left and right, obviously, over because you've got 30 centimeters long, and then the pattern repeats. But it is pattern repeatable, as in that you will not see a join at all. It doesn't top and bottom, but that's fine because it wasn't ever intended to be like that. But I think it looks pretty cool if it doesn't repeat, because it's going to look a bit weird, I think. So I'm kind of doing it like that. Yeah, I'm going to put this piece here. So Ivy's saying that all productivity has gone out of the window. The dog has fallen asleep on my leg, and that's... Ellie's saying you've got to crave comfort food. Yes, very true. Comfort food, I know. So it was pie, chips and gravy tonight. I know, really kind of old school. Not quite school dinners, but yeah, it's kind of old school. So I'm going to join this to here. Excuse me, I'm trying to butt it up so there's no gap in between. I think I've got that done. Yeah, that's good. Again, it's hard sometimes to do it without sticking my big head in the way. So you'll forgive me if I did have a little gap. I did well there. There's no gap. Okay. Now you can see it's starting to. This is very quick to create that kind of background. You know, sometimes you don't want to be stamping too much, and you just want to. Now you don't have to use it all in one go either. You can obviously use part of it. You can stick it on half if you wish to. And I'm not too bothered about it. I don't want it matching. I think it looks better when it doesn't match. It kind of gives it that more kind of random look. And because the colour's coming down, see it obviously on the background there. I could have used a more solid cardstock if I wanted to in terms of colour, but I like that graduation there, that kind of like slightly ombre look that's going on. So we've stuck this down. Now the only thing I need to do is obviously just trim the edges here, so I'll do that now. So just do that, peel that off. Again, very easy to do. Look at me go mark with his scissors. I'm using a pair of scissors, so it's not very often I use scissors. So bear with me if I make a mess of this now. I know everybody else probably uses scissors all the time, but I always use a scalpel. That's my there you go. I always use a scalpel. That's my cutting method of choice. Just take that off there. See, this is one of the things. Don't get that going with the scalpel. Right, let's go. Cut this here. Now this is just like, as I said, another way to use that tape in a different way. That it's just creating one giant background, which is nice. I'm just going to go over this again, cut this corner, and then we should have. Do you see how this cardstock is double-sided, which I like as well? I mean, that's a great colour, that side as well. You're always spoiled for choice, and I think the pads themselves are incredible value as well. Value for money is amazing. We were saying the other day, somebody in a shop said to me that the pads should have been a lot more expensive, and she was very surprised that they weren't. So you've got this really cool background. Again, instant. How cool is that? And it's, you know, it's so touchy-feely now. It's very, very nice indeed. Doesn't that look nice? And you can see how matte that actually is there. And I like that feeling of colour coming through there. It's nice, really nice. It's different, isn't it? I like that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, I think I'll have a drink of water. Okay, so I'm going to stick this to I've got a card blank here, so I'll stick that to that. And let's get some tape, I think. Let's just measure that out. And again, you don't have to, if you want to do it a different way, go for it. Vertically, or even turn upside down. But I kind of like it like that, because I've stuck the tape in a certain way anyway. So we'll just kind of go with the flow of that. And we'll see where we're going there. Ooh, it just fits, okay. So I'll get my tape gun. Right. Oh, so Ivy's saying she loves that and it looks great. Thank you. It is great. And it would work for those pesky boy cards. Yes, I know boys are such a pain, aren't they? Yeah, any kind of male themed cards, but It depends on what you're doing, see, Ivy. If you're doing more kind of different colours, it works just as well for a female card as well, I think. Again, if you're using pinks and things, you can easily get away with a female type card. But again, cards are for everybody. So let's have a look. Stick this down. Okay, so we've got this nice back. Oh, look at that close. Right, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I see. I nearly did an Australian card here. So I'm just going to try and line this up now. I'm not putting my head in the way. Oh, you know what? That's not too bad. Not too bad without getting my head in the way. Okay. So you can see how this really does come to life. Oh, and I tell you what, it's so silky. It's really, really nice. It's like, I can't describe what it feels like, but if you've got it, you know. If you know, you know. So we've got this gorgeous, again, it's instant. And again, I don't need it to match top and bottom because this is supposed to look like you've made it, you know? This is what it was. I mean, the papers themselves, they look great because you could not tell that was a printed, you could not tell that was printed, really. I don't think so. Again, the same with the papers. They look great. They look like you've hand sprayed them and had that dripping going on. The same with the tape. You know, you want that look to go, oh, did he stamp it? How did he do that with that? And it just feels so really, really cool. Love it. Okay, next, let's do some stamping, shall we? Okay, so I'll get my stamping block out. And I'm going old school. Look, using a block and not using a stamping platform as I would normally. I don't know why I'm not using the stamping platform today, but it doesn't matter. Right. So I'm just going to get my mat down. I've got my block. I need a piece of cardstock to stamp onto. Okay, and there we go. So I've got some white cardstock. Now I'm going to get my current ink of choice. So we were talking about this last week, and it turns out that the VersaFine Clair Nocturnal, is it called Nocturne or Nocturnal? I think it's called Nocturne, is a better black than the VersaFine Onyx black. Go figure. Same company. I'm not really sure why one black is different to the other. You would think it would be the similar inks, but obviously not. One ink is blacker than the other one. Okay, but I still love this as an ink. So I'm going to go over this, my stamp. Plenty of ink on there. And we just turn it over. And we're going to press down. Just commit. Once you decide where it's going to go, what you're going to do is you're going to press down and you're going to commit to that. Obviously, for those who are newish to stamping, I know that so many of you are experts. May's here from Norway. Hello, May. How are you? How is Norway? I don't know what's the weather like in Norway at this time of year. Is it snowing? Is it cold? Oh, I was saying what type of white cardstock. I'm finally running out of the massive stash I had. Ooh. Who uses what card? Well, I'm currently using the Arden Creative Studios cardstock, which is very, very nice cardstock. It's the one I'm using. Obviously, kind of, it's like my kind of sister company. Oh, look at that. And I didn't even stamp it all there. Missed a bit there. Ha! That's typical. That's fine. Turn it over and do it again. Okay, that's what you get for using a block. Let's go back on this again. You can see I didn't even press down there. Too busy talking. That's fine. Even somebody who's been stamping for 20 years will still make mistakes, and that's the whole point. The stamping platform will stop you doing that because you can go back in, but this is old school, so you will have to, when you commit, you really do have to make sure you know what you're doing. So let's not talk about it and do it properly. So there's lots of different cardstock. I don't have a, obviously I'm using this one currently. let me know what everybody else is using. I bought two. Well, I'm catching up on some comments here. Ali saying I bought 2 pads as they were a great price. Oh, are we talking about ink pads? Ah, right, okay. Is that the VersaFine Claire ones, Ali? You could have used the other image too. Yes, Ellie, I know I could have done, but for the sake of tonight's demonstration, imperfection is imperfection tonight. I just wanted it to be perfect, so you'll forgive me if I do it again. There, that's close enough for me. I'm not going to mess around too much with that. Only reason being is that I'm going to be cutting this out and then obviously using it again. So you're quite right. I could have easily just said let's go for it anyway. It doesn't matter. I think, to be quite fair, there's things on my my mat. I do need a new mat which is smoother. So you need to be careful if you're got anything, even very slightly, any slight bumps or anything on when you're stamping, that they will show up. So we're just going to tap this off and we're going to heat emboss this. Again, not even too concerned. It does look a bit grungy and that's fine as well. All good. I said it's not going to matter because I've already got one I've already stamped out. So because it's such a large stamp, I would recommend people using a stamping platform simply so you don't get to what I had and have to do it again. So I'm just going to heat this up now. You do you, as Tim Holtz is so fond of saying. You do you, yeah. So I'm just heating this up now. Again, if anyone was fussy, or if you are too fussy about the slight imperfection that you've got there, don't worry about it. Go over it with a pen if you want to. Just fill in that blank little gap that you've got there. Again, you're creating something from scratch. This is like, you know, new stuff. So, you know, if you wanted to have it ultra perfect, then you may go to a printer's to get it done. So, as you can see, we've got that nice and shiny gloss look going on there. And you could easily just get your pen out and just fill that in if you want to. But I've already got one that I did earlier, so we just jump to that one. Do you see? Same thing. And all I've done is I've cut it out. I didn't bother cutting out the little extra bits. You can use those if you're going to layer on top of it. If you're going to stamp an image onto another card, you can do it that way. But I don't need those for this particular demo. So put this to one side. And the other thing I've also done is I've also stamped out another one, but I just cut the wing out because I wanted the wing. I want to layer up that wing because I want it to make it look dimensional, which will look really, really cool. Okay, so next what else have we got? Oh, I'll tell you what I need to do is I need to do some colour. I need to colour this in just a little bit. So I'm trying to work out the colour that I'm going to use. So obviously I've got my card, and now this is going to really, you can see how cool this looks when it stands out. So I do like that, but I want to add a little bit of colour just to this here, but I want the rest of it to stand out. So I'm going to do that. And I like that background, looks really cool against that colour, doesn't it? Looks nice. Again, the wing, I'm going to colour the wing in an alternate colour so that it will stand out against that as well. So we'll put this on the side and we'll just bring those wings in. And we're just going to colour this in. So the choice of colour I'm going to use tonight is, let's have a look what I've got here. I like to use something a different colour, so let's have a look, see what we've got. Ooh, do you know what? I think I'm going to go for possibly, how about an orange? That might look quite nice. I know it's carved pumpkin. We're talking about Halloween already. Yeah. Let's go with carved pumpkin, shall we? So I'm going to colour the wing in. So move that out of the way and with that. So we just do this wing first. And I don't know how clean that is. Is that orange already on there? Look. Always test. I know. I don't know about everybody else. Does everybody else have a blender for each colour, or do you kind of like, you know, use an orange for like 3 or 4 different oranges? Let me know what you guys use. I am intrigued, obviously, because I kind of use my orange blender for all my oranges. Again, I'd love to know how other people create, what other people do with their craft room and how they do things. So again, we're just going to go in there with the orange. Again, it's a gorgeous colour, and I kind of bring it out the ombre kind of effects there. So we're going to make it obviously darker in the centre there, and just going to bring that colour out a bit in circular motions. Again, keep on going until you get that depth of colour that you're really after. So that's going to look quite nice. I want it to stand. See, I do want it to stand out. So I'm looking. So I'm wanting it to stand out against the green and the yellow. So I think that will work really, really well. So I'll put this here. Right. So I'm happy with that as a colour. Just quickly get a. What am I looking for? A hat. I know. My lovely wife stocked up on some baby wipes for me. She was very, very good. Okay. So let's have a look at the clock, shall we? Now, I want to colour this in. It does look great against the white there, but it just needs a little bit of something on it. So I may just do like a grey, like a pale grey, just a shade around the edge there, just to take a little bit of that sharpness off the edge there. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Okay, so I need another blending tool, and which one have we got here today? Right, just have a look. Oh, that'll do. So I've got another blending tool, and I'm looking for the right colour. Now, probably I'm looking for maybe like a grey. Now I can't. Help me out. What was the black? The black soot, and what's the grey? I can't even remember what it's called. What is the grey in the distress colours? Can't even see what grey is. Grey. Shout out someone. What's grey? Black soot. No, it's not that one. Smoke something or other. Right. Okay. We'll improvise. We're gonna have to use the black soot. My favourite Tim Holtz is "Don't lick your art." Really? No, I don't. Basically, whenever Matt is out, it's either Mark or Tim that lives on my telly, and now Rox has got me on to Andy Skinner. It's all about the boys. Yeah, Andy Skinner, rock and roll. Okay, so I've got this here. It's a bit dirty and it's half dying, I think, but I think we'll get through there with adding a little bit of darkness to my edge of my project there. I think we'll get away with that. I should look for possibly something that's not quite as dark, but that's fine. Oh, we'll go with that. So we're just going over the edge there. We don't want it too dark, but we're just going to add something to it, you see, just to tone it down a little bit. I think that's going to look great. Oh, sorry, you can't see there. I forgot the camera's on me. There we go. Okay, now you can see. Okay, so again, we're just kind of adding a little bit to that. It isn't going to be perfect. Again, you're not going to see it. That bit there. Okay. If you've got a grey, use a grey. I got away with using a black soot, but very lightly. So again, whatever works for you, it'll work. Okay, so they move that to one side. I will clean up just once more. I got an idea for using the tapes on something else as well. I think I'm going to play with that. Not today. I'm going to do a reel with that idea. I saw somebody create something the other week on Instagram. I thought, well, do you know what? I could do that, but maybe I want to use my tapes as well. So keep watching. If you're not on my Instagram, please do start following me, it's Mark X Rocks. So let's have a look at that there. There, now we can see, again, I've taken a little bit of light off that clock there now, and that's just what I wanted. And then what we're going to do is we will add that on there as well, and we'll put some white highlights on there with a white pen, just because we can. But I think that's starting to look pretty good. So what we're going to do now is, I've also got a couple of sentiments which I want to use. So again, I'm sticking with the same sentiments that I've used before on other projects, and this is in the set. So we've got "We Are All a Little Fragile," which will work perfectly down there. And again, because we've got that kind of ombre effect on the colour, that kind of stands out a lot more. So what we're going to do now is just going to get some 3D glue. It's nice to be able to read all your comments as well. It's really, really nice. It's really nice. So I'm just getting my gel. Again, if you want to use foam pads, feel free. But this is, for me, a game changer. So just going to add to that. I think I've got another TV show coming up as well. I say coming up, it's in very early December. Which is going to be really cool. So I'm just going to decide where this is going to go. Again, just decide where you want to put it, commit to it, and again, this is going to make your project look really, really nice. Now the wing, we're going to kind of just shape it up just a little bit, just add a little bit of something to it. And that's going to kind of go over the top of there. Like so. Again, we can put, as in, when you're creating stuff like this, you'll probably want more the 3D glue on the outer edges for the dimension and less on the center. So big blobs there, and we'll have a smaller blob just in the center there where we can press down. Okay, so put this down now. Again, it's all about kind of using the colours that, I mean, again, you know, I decided on using the carved pumpkin, obviously, because it's heading towards Halloween. As you know, sometimes it's about grabbing those colours that maybe you haven't used for a while. I don't know the last time I used that. I normally go for maybe the spicy marmalade, but you know, it's nice to be able to play. Just twist that if you need a bit straightening up. It's entirely up to you how you do it, but once I have a look at that, and I know it's straight, again, I mean, for a card, quickly done, this is pretty good, isn't it? I've got some, where's my pen? We'll get a pen out now. So I'm just going to use this is one of the Posca pens. Again, just test it out before you use it. Sometimes with Posca pens, they will blob if you're not careful. So I'm just going to go over some of the areas here. The things that I maybe want to highlight, and adding a few white highlights to stuff will make all the difference. You don't have to do an awful lot. It just adds to it. I'm not sure why, but it's just I think it's with the eye, you know, going by, you know, how the eye see things with light and shade. It just looks so much better. Again, you can see that starting to come to life a little bit more there as well. Again, you know, don't be too fussy about it. That's going to be perfect. Again, just try and stick to the same kind of areas that you would for light and where you may see it. If you follow the same kind of guidelines and do it the same way throughout, your project will look even and balanced, and that's what you want as well. Yes, just a little bit there, a little bit here. Again, once you've got it sussed, then you don't need to add that much to it. So a little bit of light there, just on those, which makes all the difference. It does. Ivy saying that the Posca pen makes all the difference. It does. It does, Ivy. The nib flies out of my Posca pen when I tap it. Gets a bit messy. It depends on which size you got. This I don't know what size this one actually is, because this one is quite a. I don't know. Do they have numbers? Oh, this is a PC.1M, a bullet-shaped 0.7mm nib, and it's quite a fine. It's quite a fine nib on this one. I do like this one. I use this one an awful lot. I find sometimes the bigger ones can be a bit sloppy, but I kind of like the little ones as well, because they're good for detail. So like that. So I'm just going to add to this here now with these two sentiments. We've got "We're all a little fragile." I know. We're kind of post World Mental Health Day, but you know, it doesn't matter when it is. You don't have to be doing this for any particular reason. But this sentiment just means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to you as well. So just take your time when you're creating this. Putting those blobs of glue on. Just get rid of those blobs. Right, okay, nearly upside down there. So we're going to just place that in the center somewhere there. Again, you know, sometimes see this background, you know, I had this idea in my head. I wanted to make it less complicated. I mean, you can seriously go to town. I mean, I've spent ages doing stuff, whether I'm colouring. Look, here's another one that I used some of the other day, or last week I should say. Again, you know, it's just taking your time. I think this is used with alcohol inks, and I do believe I used some of the pearl ones there, so you've got like some red shimmer going on there. But again, you know, I mean, think about it. That'd be great on Halloween, wouldn't it? Great colour. So I might use that. Yeah, so just think about the colours that you're using, and if you don't want to use any colours at all, you know, it makes a difference by just placing it over some coloured cardstock, whether it be printed papers or just plain coloured cardstock. You can create something really beautiful. And don't forget, if you want to pick out just certain elements in each of these, you could just colour those in with maybe an alcohol pen, or you maybe using the paintbrush and some of the alcohol inks, whatever you've got really. So let's just put this on here. Again, I'm trying to line this up so it's straight and central, so that works. Okay. So now I may just add, see, I'm tempted now. You know, sometimes you say stop, but don't stop. So I'm just going to add a few little highlights here to my top, or just the top of my clock here. I'll just do a little bit around there. Again, it doesn't have to be much. And as it starts to go around there, it'll be less. And you're just kind of creating something of dimension and colour. Okay. I think I'll stop there. But let me just zoom in so you can have a look at this a bit closer to see how we created this. Okay. So I mean, again, look at those papers there. Look at that paper, and then obviously I've just taped that PET tape straight over the top, and it feels really, really nice. Again, very, very cool, easy to do. We've created some depth there with the raised wing there. But yeah, it is, you know, in terms of dimension, obviously it'll cost you more to post something like this, but you know, sometimes, you know, again, what difference does it make in the cost of post when you're creating something amazing? So I wouldn't worry too much. I never worry too much. I mean, if you're creating something and it's cool and you want to send it to somebody that you love, or just send it to a friend, just go for it. It really does make that much difference. I think it's really cool. It's worth adding those extra dimensions to whatever you're creating there. But very easy to do that. I was saying spice marmalade is my go-to orange too. Yeah, see, I do use spice marmalade all the time, but I really wanted to use carved pumpkin, and carved pumpkin's a little bit brighter than the spice marmalade. Spice marmalade is a little bit darker, and for this particular thing, I really did want that to stand out. Maybe I could have combined the colours. I do not know, but yeah, I mean, they're both great colours. Very, very nice. So I do love that. But again, sometimes the simplicity in creating something that makes it not as simple. You know, it looks and feels so much more. Very simple to create, as you can see, but I think that makes all the difference. You know, I think that's a really nice card. Yeah, that's perfect, and that's what I wanted to achieve tonight. Something not too complicated. Did it take too long? Do you know what? It probably took the same amount of time. Maybe I was talking a lot more, but hey, it doesn't matter. But you can see that you can create quite a lot of backgrounds just with the tape. And the tape has got, you know, it's got 16 feet on it, or 5 meters long. So it's going to last you quite a long time. And, you know, if you're smart like me, you can have more than one. That's what I say. I've got at least 2 of the 3 of the pads. The same with the, exactly the same with the tape. And obviously I've got the stamps. But, you know, again, you can create whatever you want to. I'm just reading some of these comments. So, May saying, love it. Ali saying, brilliant. Ivy's saying, love it too, yeah. So, thank you so much, everybody. Again, I did say it wasn't going to take too long. Thank you once again. I'll be back with another demonstration, same time next Wednesday. If you are watching me on Instagram, then you'll see some of the pre-records that I've been creating. Do check them out. Check me out on Instagram. I do post them to Facebook quite often as well. So, but maybe you'll see something on Instagram that I didn't put on Facebook. I don't know. You're gonna have to go and have a look. So have a look for me on there. Can I remember what my handle is? Let me just have a look again, just to make sure I'm quoting the right Instagram. Let's have a look for you. So look, see if I can find myself. Yes, it's right. So let's get this right. It's Mark X Designs, and you'll find me on Instagram. So check me out and have a nice evening. I hope that inspired you to do something else with your tape. Let me know what you're doing with your tape. I am going to try and create something with the tape. Actually, I'll cover something. I saw something, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I saw something on Instagram. I thought, that looks great, but it could be better if I put my tape on there. So watch this space, and I'll try and create that for you soon. So take care now, and I shall leave you to having your lovely evening. I'll see you same time next week. Bye-bye now.